So here
Mad, brother.
joined with Blake Redenbach, looking to make his much-awaited debut in MMA.
Much awaited indeed, brother. Nah, it's good to speak to you, man. It's
Yeah,
good to see you.
appreciate it. So how many cancelled fights have you had now?
So I've had 0 fights, and this will be my 5th fight camp. Yeah.
Wow. And like you haven't even stepped in the octagon and you've already had that many cancelled fights. That must be so frustrating. Like how's that journey been just to go through all that?
It's been super frustrating, man, especially when like the first one, I feel it's weird because it's the debut. I feel like debuts should be the easiest ones to get. No resume, there's no highlights, there's no nothing. You should be able to just get in there. So I thought if you just go to a gym, you train hard, you get a match and you get a fight, and it just hasn't been like that. So I've been pretty much in fight camp for like 15 months, just back to back to back to back to back. And yeah, it's been hectic. And the next one comes around and you think that's the one, and then the next one comes around and you think that's the one, and then it just keeps on falling. Like the first one was 7 days cancelled. The second one, they told me I'd get an opponent, just keep on training, and then they just never found me one. The third one was like 2 weeks cancelled, and then the fourth one was 5 days cancelled. That was a few weeks ago. And then now I'm about 4 days out now from my first fight. So this is the closest I've ever got.
Yeah, you see it in UFC, you get the old cancel 1 or 2 fights in a row, but yeah, this is pretty rare. And
it is pretty rare, man. It feels, everyone says it's unlucky, it's rare, and it's just like, I'm a Christian, so I believe God's always kind of at work as well, but it's definitely frustrating, man.
Yeah. And what made you want to do MMA? What was behind you making your debut and wanting to venture into the sport? Because I know you have a rugby league background.
Yeah. So I don't know if you remember my dad's story, but he was always like a hand-to-hand combat kind of dude. But basically, I just went through a real hard time, and it was when I first started being a Christian, and I read in the Bible it says like honor your parents, and I just thought that'd be a great way to honor my dad. You know what I mean? And it made me feel good. It made me feel like, as a man, everyone wants to be able to feel safe and competent. And that was pretty much it, man. I was angry too at the start. I wanted to hurt people. I'm not like that anymore. But yeah, the first year was very much just wanting to hurt people and get away with it, to be honest.
And do you feel like doing this, you've found a lot more respect for like the physicality of this sport? And, when you're out and about, like you're going to be, I don't want to hurt someone because I know what I'm capable of now and what that could do to someone.
Yeah, you definitely, before you start training, everyone, especially if you're fit and an athlete, you think, you can kind of handle yourself. But yeah, it's definitely, if you don't train, man, like you're definitely far, far behind someone who trains every day. Yeah.
100%. And I know you've played rugby league and then coming into martial arts, like how's that transition been? Like did you come in already with those physical attributes, a bit of wrestling, that rugby league base?
Yeah, I think the rugby league base is really good, man, for MMA. Definitely for the grappling part. Like, you're used to wrestling 3 people at once, 110 kilos, 60 kilos, all the difference. There's definitely a difference with the wrestling. Like, obviously in footy, they run straight at you, and all you're going to do is kind of brace. Whereas this one, they'll run away from you. They don't want to wrestle. So that was the hard part. But definitely being able to like physically move another body and just handle that weight, handle that pressure. Rugby league is definitely good.
Because I always jokingly say, rugby league is the best base for MMA. Just going off how Alex Volkanovski's performed and. Just that, that sheer cardio, but also the strength and physicality you get from all that wrestling as well.
I think compared to any other ball sport, definitely.
Yeah, because you get like your hand-eye coordination sports, but it's kind of hard to translate, that aggression, that hard work on the body.
Like I always thought dancing was a pretty good background. You get really in tune with your body.
Yep.
And very flexible, very like different kind of strength. But yeah, the physicality and the aggression of footy definitely helps.
And coming into MMA, what have you found your biggest strength? Is it the striking? Is it the grappling?
My biggest strength was probably the biggest strength is probably the grappling. But I would say aside from that, the real big one's probably just my ability to mix it up. Like I love MMA because it's a mixed martial arts. You know, I may not be the best boxer. I'm a pretty good grappler, but I'm sure there's better grapplers out there. But I feel like my ability to mix everything in, find the little things that kind of the opportunities that arise, and I think that's my biggest strength.
Yeah, because I noticed your opponent, he looks to have got a bit of a Muay Thai background. Looks like he'll probably be looking to keep it on the feet. I'm not sure how much he's going to try and mix it up. So are you aware of this?
Yeah. Yeah, bro. I watched. He's got a couple fights on YouTube. I watched them. Yeah, I always never liked Muay Thai for MMA. I think obviously he's been doing MMA for about a year now. But yeah, you definitely got to unlearn some bad habits. They're really light on that front leg. They're very, very stand up tall, and that's just a recipe for disaster, to be honest, for wrestling and stuff. So I'm sure he goes to a good gym, he would have got those bad habits out of him. But yeah, I've never really had any bad habits when it comes to MMA.
Oh, that's great. And so you're out of Empire up at Upper Coomera there?
Yeah. Yep.
And I believe your opponent's out of the Brisbane, the Fight Centre. So yeah, some good gyms going at it. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
And what advice would you have for someone in your position starting out and then making their debut? Because it's a lot of more people are getting into the sport now, and like they're just that decision around like, can I just do it for fun or go into that next stage of getting in that octagon and being in the action?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've never been in the ring, but it seems like there's a lot of average people doing it, man. I feel like everyone who steps in the octagon is just a regular dude who just gave it a shot. So I would say just don't be scared. Like, they're probably just like you know what I mean? And I would say go to a gym that's just heavy on the mixing it up part. Like, don't go to a gym that does boxing and kickboxing and jiu-jitsu and then you try to put it all together. Like, go to a gym that puts it all together every day, all the time. Because it's not that MMA is its own thing. You have to learn how to work everything all at once, all the time.
Sure. And so this weekend, you will be stepping in and making that weight cut. So how do you find getting down to the 170 pounds?
Yeah, it's surprisingly easy, man. My first card that got the one that I did first, my coach wanted me to make weight because he reckons I couldn't make it because I walk around at about like 88. You know what I mean? When I'm pretty fit. I used to be like 100 kilos when I was playing footy, bodybuilding and stuff. And then I found it really easy, man. Like at the moment, like yesterday I was 85 kilos. Today I'm 82.8. I just do a water load, no carb, no salt. And my body's pretty lucky, I guess. I just sweat easy. I'll get rid of a lot of water easy. And you got about 30 hours to rehydrate after you weigh in. So
which is
I felt
plenty of time.
Yeah, heaps of time, man. As soon as you get the carbs, you feel back to normal.
Yeah. And this weekend also we got Alex Volkanovski fighting, trying to regain that featherweight title. Do you really follow the UFC, engage in it? Is this what you got you into the sport? Guys like Robert Whittaker and Volkanovski?
Nah, not really, to be honest. Like I said, my dad got me into it, and he's a very like self-defense kind of dude. And I remember I'd watch UFC and be like, "Oh man, nobody really fights like me." Like, I couldn't really relate to any of them. So I watched like the superstars. Like I like Alex Pereira, Shavkat Rakhmonov, Khamzat. I like the superstars and stuff, but I don't really like. I actually get kind of bored just watching the fights, to be honest. But Alex Volkanovski's cool. He's cool for sure.
Yeah, there is a bit of an issue with how many events are on at the moment. Like they do 40 plus events a year, and like I follow it pretty avidly, and even I get a bit burnt out. I'm like, oh, another Sunday of you know, sort of watered down fights, and hopefully this new ESPN or Netflix deal comes about and changes it up, because that's what I like about the regional scene is, you know, you got good quality fights at least once a month, not, you know, 4 times a month. And
Yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah. But all right, Matt.
yeah.
Yeah.
I find as well. I think the UFC is going through a bit of a moment. Like, I like entertaining fights, man. Like, I don't feel like just winning is enough. And I feel like Dana, he supports that. Like, you look at Justin Gagey, Michael Chandler, like they lose, but they keep on getting paid and they keep on getting fights. And like I was watching Alex Pereira versus Ankalaev, and I was like, man, like that fight was boring. Like, I know he shut Alex Pereira down, which no one ever done before, but I don't know. That's like nobody wants to watch it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like John Jones, he's the greatest in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like, he's entertaining, man. He switches it up. He would have beat Alex in a totally more entertaining way. And I feel like there's just a lot of fights. They get to the big stage and it's supposed to be a banger, and it's just someone grabbing someone or somebody like just jabbing and teeping, and you're just like, bro, like, yeah. So I find it a bit boring to watch a lot of the time. You do get those like undercard prelim fights that are
Yeah.
hectic, and I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, those unknown prelim fighters, because you know they're there to hopefully get a bonus because their showing win money
Yeah.
is not that great. So they're like, well, we got to
Yeah.
try and flatline someone to at least, you know, pay for our flights to get here. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, man. And so how do you find the regional scene or MMA scene in Australia? Like, where do you think it's going to eventually progress to? Because there's more and more people getting into it, and especially like people coming from that rugby league background. Like, where do you see it in the next five,
Yeah.
10 years?
Yeah, I don't really know, to be honest. I don't really know compared to the rest of the world, but I think Aussies are good athletes. Um, I think what Aussie really needs is just like good coaches. You know what I mean? I feel
Yeah,
like good coaches. I used to train at Puma under Vince Perry, and he was a great coach. My coaches that I'm at the moment, great coaches. But I tried a few gyms on the Gold Coast, and none of them just really spoke my language when it came to it.
yeah,
So I feel like that's going to be a big part if people just understand the game. Like, the coaching needs to understand the game a little bit better, and I think if they do that, like, Aussie's got mad athletes and stuff, but yeah, you're gonna find a lot of people just making silly mistakes and missing opportunities on the big stage, and yeah, I don't know, 5 to 10 years maybe coaching will, because I feel like overseas, I don't really know, but I feel like overseas they kind of get it a bit more.
yeah.
But yeah, we definitely got the potential, and the game is changing, man. Like, you look at like Ilya Taporia. I
Mm,
reckon he's the best right now. I'm confused why more people don't like copy the best. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like, everybody just wants to do maybe like old techniques and old training methods and stuff, and I'm just like, bro, like it's definitely evolved, and I'm trying to catch up and stay on top of it. And yeah, if Australia does that, then yeah, it could definitely be a bit of a
yeah,
powerhouse.
100%. And like we don't like they have the UFC PI Performance Institute in Las Vegas, and then they've just opened one in Mexico. They got one in China. So I'm wondering if they would try and get one out to Australia, or they just think possibly we do have the resources, or just leave it to the gyms, to local gyms like Alex Volkanovski's done with freestyle MMA. And
Yeah, where are the PIs like all over the world? You got a few in America. Where else are they?
Mexico City, they just opened one, and
Oh yeah,
China, I can't remember which city.
oh yeah.
Yeah, they've got one there, so I believe it's three.
They got one probably in the UK. Hey.
No, not in nothing in the
Oh,
UK.
true.
It's
Oh yeah,
but yeah, I'm just like with the development side, it's all it is. It's just local gyms who are developing the talent and superstars, and
yeah,
in Australia, like all it is just your local gym, and like Volkanovski from
yeah,
freestyle MMA down in Windang, and then all the way to world champ, and still fights out of there. I know they've got one in Thailand, Bang Tao. A lot of a
oh
lot of
true.
fighters going to there. Aljamain Sterling was just in there, but yeah, it's a bit
Yeah,
interesting interesting landscape.
Yeah, I think that would probably make people a little bit more hungry for it if there was a PI in Australia. But yeah, I don't know what goes on in a PI. I don't know. I feel like, you know, the gyms, the little gyms, is really where the magic happens anyway. Like PI is probably just a lot more getting fit, staying healthy, recovery. I don't know. Yeah, like look at Conor McGregor. You know what I mean? Like he just learned that magic in the dungeon.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that's kind of where you got to do it. The PI might be like a little motivation, like, oh, I'd love to go to that clean, cool gym one day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if they really make you know, great MMA fighters in the PI. They probably just fine tune them there.
Yeah, because I know they get like their meals done and just a lot of sports science based stuff.
Yeah.
Cold plunge,
A lot of physio and all that.
I'd say compared to rugby league terms, like just your high performance centers at like your NRL clubs, like they've all got like the strengthening, conditioning areas. But yeah, man. Well, I'll wrap it up here, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to your fight this weekend, and
cheers, brother.
stepping into the cage for the first time. Touch wood, everything goes to plan, and yeah, any final words for anyone that's going to come and watch you this Saturday?
Nah, man. See what happens. It's been a much awaited, much anticipated. So there's a lot of what ifs. You know what I mean? So we'll finally get some answers on Saturday.
Great, man. Well, yeah. Thanks again, and very much appreciate it.
Well, all good. Thank
Cheers,
you.
Blake.